It's important to be involved with Iowa corn growers because it gives us a voice, a unified voice. You know, we're a lot louder than just one person. One thing I've learned being on the committees and through the CAT team is that the Iowa corn growers are very proactive. They're very much moving forward and thinking of the future.
Now with the water quality issues and things that are coming, I think it's extremely important that people get involved with their communities, with their commodities, and make their voice heard.
If there isn't more people out here that are in our industry, that are passionate about our industry, that are promoting it or positioning it correctly to individuals that may not understand or may not have the education that has taught them that, you know, how conservation is or how we try to keep water quality, or that's how important Iowa corn to me is.
We've got the best soil in the world, and I don't want to see it leave my farm.
When we first started farming, the way we farm today is completely different than the way we used to. We used to work the ground all the time. Today, we no-till practically everything that we produce. We use less herbicides, we're more efficient with our fertilizer use, and we're very concerned about the environment as a farmer because I have a son, it's the next generation. I want to leave it in better shape than when I found it, and my dad had the same philosophy, and I think all farmers feel the same way.
Seeding waterways and doing waterway maintenance every year and cleaning terraces out, just continuing to keep up on maintenance on conservation practices that are currently in place, as well as we've gone to aerial seeding rye in August on all of our corn ground. Right now our rye's up about 8 inches, peeking through the corn stalks, and looks fantastic. And we'll spray that rye off next spring and no-till beans into it, and we're primarily a no-till operation all the way around.
We feel that with a cover crop and no-till, the combination, we're doing about everything that we can do, and we think long-term it's going to be a very, very important thing to be doing.
It's hard seeing the media just be driven crazy by one thing and not seeing so many good things that are actually going on, things like what's happening right here on this farm.
My father was doing some conservation practices back when he started farming. We've employed terraces that were put back in when he was very active farming, waterways, and I put in filter strips, among other things that have helped keep the soil on the land. Very important, because that's, if my son chooses to farm, you know, I'd like to have the ground in as good a condition or better, you know, when he has that opportunity. Water quality is important to everybody, not only the consumer that lives in the city, but also out here in the farm, because my family drinks that water too from the well that we drilled. So we understand the importance. It hits very close to home that we need to manage our fertilizer use very well.
In the American population, I think, 2% of it is actually farmers. And, but I think like 30% of the population actually is tied to farming in one way, if it's sales and agriculture, grain merchandiser, truck driver, or something like that. So once you get outside of that 32%, I think that there's a big disconnect where people don't understand exactly how it all operates. But if there's anybody that's a good steward to the land, it's definitely a farmer. You know, a farmer has roughly 30 crops to be successful. So why would he try to ruin that in 1 year by not being conservative to the farm or to his ground or to his neighbor's ground, or just in general for all those situations?
We think it's important to have the kids growing up in a healthy environment, and we try to do everything we can to protect the waters and the air in the environment that we're raising our children and that we're raising the crops that we're feeding to other people's children and their families. The water that we feed them and give to them with their meals, we feel is very safe. We do everything we can to protect that water source.
We are being progressive and finding ways to be healthy and to have the soil be healthy.
Ultimately, we're the ones here that own the land, so we don't want to destroy our asset and what we want to be able to pass on down to our kids.
I don't know what it is about growing something and raising something and being able to say at the end of the year they actually did some good.
When we started farming, I felt it was completely our responsibility to tell our story and let people know what we're doing, because nobody knows what we're doing better, and there's so many false stories out there of what's going on.
And one thing I've taken up doing is we open up, offer, you know, if you want to come out and check and see what we're doing, come out.
There's a lot of sacrifice made to produce this product, not only by myself, but by my father who's farmed with me and has farmed for years prior, by my family who also helps in the operation. There's a lot of sacrifice and work that puts into this, so of course at the end of the day, I want to produce a good, safe product. You know, it's important to me that we're doing it the right way here.
Let's show the world that we actually do care.